Alif Laila, my first project as a producer. When I started this project as a producer, I honestly underestimated what this role actually meant. I thought it was mostly about organizing a few things, maybe some props, and just making sure that shooting actually happens. But I realized that producing is basically managing every single part of the process at the same time. One of the biggest skills I've developed through Alif Laila was organizing under pressure. There were so many things happening at once: actors, timing, locations, costumes, change in ideas, or any technical problems. And I had to constantly make sure everything stayed connected. I learned that even if one part is not managed properly, it affects the whole production. Over time, I became better at prioritizing what actually needed attention and what could wait. Another important development was my decision making skills. As a producer, I wasn't just following instructions. I had to make quick decisions when things didn't go as planned because things couldn't wait. Sometimes locations changed, people weren't available, or a scene didn't work out the way we expected. In these moments, I learned how to stop overthinking and thinking and using the most easy solution that would still support your idea. I also developed a much stronger understanding of communication and teamwork. A big part of producing is making sure everything and everyone is on the same page. I had to constantly coordinate with my partner and the cast, making sure tasks were divided, and that I also learned that communication is not about talking, it's about making sure people actually understand what is needed and when. Another key thing I experienced was handling stress. There were moments where everything felt so exhausting, so overwhelming, especially when multiple problems came at once. But instead of stopping the process, I had to keep things moving. I learned to stay still even when things were falling apart, and how to keep the project going even though things was not perfect. I also became more aware of how important pre-production planning is. At first, I thought planning was flexible, that could wait, but during production, I realized that planning always creates problem during the actual execution. Because of that, I started thinking more carefully about the timings, the location, and organizing things before anything was shot at all. Even though my main role was producing, I also gained a better understanding of technical aspects like camera work. I became more aware of different shot types, angles, frames, and how they get together and create a meaning of a scene. That helped me take more better decisions during production, and I could understand what kind of shots would support the story at this point. Uh, Overall, this project taught me that being a producer is not about controlling everything perfectly, but about adapting, solving problems quickly, and keeping the production stable no matter what happens. I didn't just learn how to organize a film, I learned how to manage pressure, people, and constant changes while still keeping a creative project alive. Alif Laila.